Hello once again YouTube, Chris the Nightbringer here, bringing you some StarMade NEF today. And today we're looking at the Probe, which is a Minmatar ship. It is one of the ships that I finished during one of my live stream events. Basically, I just build non-stop for hours. So if you care to join me during the live stream event, check out the description down below where you can find the information for my Twitch channel and follow me there so that you can be alerted as soon as I begin live streaming. So, we're going to talk about this ship, among other things, and basically what this ship is an exploration ship for the Minmatar Race. Every race in EVE has an exploration ship, or at least the 4 main races of EVE have exploration ships, and I just realized I missed a few blocks, but that's okay, because this is still technically not done. This is just the external hull at its most basic state. There's a lot of changes that still need to be made. For example, detail work. There's, pieces of the ship that are different colors, and those are details as well. The turrets need to be properly embedded into the structure of the ship. For example, this turret right here, which is supposed to be here, is just sticking out of the side, and that's just so I can mark where the turrets were and whatnot. And, man, I gotta say, as ugly as a ship as it is, I really enjoy seeing the ship finalized. Even if it's a really ugly looking ship, it still looks pretty damn good when it's done. It looks so clean. I don't have to worry about anything, being wrong about it. I don't know. It just looks good. I think it looks good. I don't know about you guys, but it looks pretty awesome. Even if it's, all over the place. I do like the fact that the wings are here. Really it's just good. It's so much better than you anticipate it to be. And I think that's just because I spent so much time working on it. And, in the end, even if it's an ugly looking ship, I made it look as good as I could. And it's still not done. There's still a lot of details that'll be put into it. And that'll be on a level comparable to the Breacher, which has quite a number of details. And I can show you that right now, actually. I will buy a Breacher. Catalog, because I have the Breacher prototype 6. So, if you take a look at the details on the Breacher, and this is a ship that I completed before I was supposed to complete it, if you take a look at the level of details on this, for example, this indentation here that causes a stripe in the armor plating was not actually there on the model. It was a texture. But I, found that detail and I thought it'd be worth it to put it in there that way. The differences in the way the texture looks or where there are seams in the ship give me an indication as to where I can put armored hull. Stuff like that. So, you can expect this level of detail. For example, this part right here is supposed to look like some sort of pipe on the side, and that again was just a texture. And it's just another layer of detail that I can throw onto these ships. These little circular bits on the bottom were textures, as was the pipes that you see on the bottom as well. So, I can add so much to these ships just by looking at them and finding out, where all these little things are. And there's a ton of them on this ship, as you could probably tell. It's a jumbled mess of machinery and whatnot. So, yeah, it's an exploration ship. It's designed to, go into deep space and search ancient relic sites or data sites, and basically data sites, I believe, give you blueprints, which is how you create ship parts and ships, and relic sites give you components or ancient technology and stuff like that. I could be wrong. I haven't gotten into that aspect of EVE as much as other players have, of course, but I'm pretty sure that's the gist of it, and it's pretty big. You never realize this is a small ship. This is a frigate, and in EVE, this is like weak. It doesn't have massive defense capabilities like a combat frigate would have, and it's still pretty damn big. I'm pretty sure this wing right here is like the square footage of one floor of my house. I have no doubt. I mean, yeah, I'd say that's big enough to be my house. Yeah, square footage wise. Yeah. Damn. That's huge, This thing is pretty fucking big. It's multiple stories tall, so we're gonna jump in, and then I'm gonna jump out. And, there's some power here. And this has not been furnished yet. If you're wondering what the purple walls are, it's basically the interior hull. I am trying to separate the exterior and interior hull, and the reason is because I need to make sure that when I repaint the external bits of the ship for color variants, then the interior does not get messed up. Because honestly, I do not want to bother repainting the interior. It's too much work. But repainting the exterior, that's okay. I'll accept that and I'll deal with it, so long as it doesn't mess up the interior. So the interior design has to stay the same, the color scheme and whatnot, even if it doesn't match the outside. I don't think it's necessary. I mean, think about it. When you get a color or a paint job on like a car, you don't like redo all the upholstery and stuff, you know? You just get a paint job on your car. So, you know, that's the way I think of it. They're not going to completely repaint all the metal and the inside of the ship as well. That just makes no sense. Here we have the core with the faction module. It's oddly placed. It doesn't face forward. It actually technically faces backward. But, of course, if you get into it, it would be facing forward. So cameras are going to be a necessity on this ship. And honestly, this was the only place that I really wanted to put the core, because there's an indentation in the wall there with enough space to put it. Coming down here, we can see a whole bunch of blue lights, and basically this represents all 400 cubic meters of the cargo hold. But on top of that, there's a drone bay in this ship that is capable of carrying a decent amount of drones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have racks. Not really racks, but I'm going to have the drones attached to the top. In the because I can't actually fit docking modules in here with as many drones as this ship is capable of, none of the frigates are coming with drones. Anything above destroyers might come with drones, but there's just not enough room on some of these smaller ships, and some of these ships underwent changes to allow drones to be in them before they were designed to look like a drone carrying ship. So, you know, that's just the way things happened in EVE. But, you know, there's a little thing coming down here, and this will be all cargo space, but there's a big door here, and each of these windows, or not these windows, these lights represent cargo bay doors. Or drone door, I guess, if you want to launch drones, because there really is no other way that the drones would be launched. Through here is the way to the bridge. There's not much I can do with this hallway, or at least I don't think there is. Well, maybe there is. Yeah, actually, technically there is. It's just, I don't know if I want to do that. Basically, I'd be using, whatchamacallit? Oh god, wedges, and making them weird and do stuff. Yeah, actually, I think I could do that. I think I could pull off that and not ruin the look on the external bit. So here's the cockpit. This is where the floor is going to be, where this light is. This down here is all going to be covered up. And that's, again, to help separate the internals from the externals. And this is the view you get from the cockpit. And I have to say, it's quite a massive view. This is like more than a 180-degree view if you're sitting up here. You know, you're going to be able to look back too. And if you look back over here, you can see a bit of the spaceship. It's quite awesome. I like that view. It's really good. So, oh god, I get stuck on a light. There's no gravity module in here. Big mistake. So if we come up here, all of this space, and actually, right here is going to be crew quarter stuff, and up here is going to be a bit more crew quarter stuff in the back. And then toward the front is going to be an airlock, and this is where the crew enters from. I'm not really sure how EVE ships manage all the different ways of getting into ships, because there is never a door in the same place on any of their ships. So they're nuts. But all of this space here is going to be dedicated to systems and modules. There's 3 low slots, which are going to be right here, and the medium slots are going to be right here, going across, and the engines are in the back. And I'm not sure how fast this ship is. I'll have to check. I have a feeling it's not that fast, but it's decent. I mean, it's a Minmatar ship, and they're known to be the fastest flying ships in EVE, so it may surprise me, and they may actually have some pretty heavy engines in this thing. So we're going to get out of this, and I'm going to show you the other thing I worked on. This is not the other thing I worked on. You are not supposed to be in here. Where's my little ship? There it is. Right, so there's 2 Minmatar ships right there, and I mean, I gotta say, they look awesome. Look at this little exploration ship. Oh my god, it's so cute. There's, you know, turret hardpoints that I forgot to point out. There's 2 on the back engines, which is nuts. There's 1 right here, on this little side bit. There's one underneath the cabin of the cockpit, which is just nuts, and there's one underneath this bit here, and I guess that's it. I could have swore there was one more. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's got to be another one. There's got to be 6. I'm going to have to double check that. I have a feeling it's just on top of this thing, but if it's not, then I have no idea where it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's weird. Oh, it's down here. Right, it's down there. It's right there. So yeah, anyway, there's 2 Minmatar ships, or at least the hulls for 2 Minmatar ships. Of course, this one is going to get a little bit more work. But I'm going to show you the other thing that I did in today's live stream. The probe was worked on yesterday, and today I finished the wireframe, for the most part, for another Minmatar ship, the Burst. So I have no idea what the purpose of this ship is. From the sounds of it, from its name, I assume it's a fast ship, you know, Burst. The probe makes sense because it's probing the depths of space, whereas the Burst may be, you know, a very fast ship. So I'm thinking that's what it's all about. It had a lot of crazy paneling, but to be honest, it was actually a lot easier than I thought while I was working on it, and it turns out that's the theme, or the ongoing thing that I'm learning or discovering about these ships, is it's actually not that hard to make them, or wireframe them out. And then once I get the wireframe, it's smooth sailing. I can do so much once I get the wireframe down. It's just intimidating to try and tackle a blob of gray hull and turn it into this, but you know, somehow I managed to do it. So this is something I'll be working on in another live stream. I'll try and do the entirety of the hull in the other live stream. Actually, honestly, probably not, because this is quite a big hull. I mean, the probe probably only took up as much space as this back section here, and you know, this is about double the size in one direction, or 2 directions at least. So this may take a few days to finish the hull, but I'll definitely be live streaming this after I post this video. So, you know, keep checking my Twitch, or once in a while throughout the day after 5 o'clock, and you'll be able to catch me building this thing, among other things. So, the last thing I wanted to talk about after that was the fact that... Wait, what's this? Is that a ship? No, I guess that looks like a ship back there, but I guess it's an actual asteroid. Anyway, one thing I wanted to talk about was the fact that I'm really starting to think about creating my own ships, because aside from all the Eve ships that I've done, I have never created a full ship. Never. And to be honest, I still haven't, because I haven't released anything this large for the public to use. And I've never created one this large myself. So the plan is I'm going to start thinking up and drawing up some spaceship ideas, because I just got a ton of ideas. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a system, or a lineup of ships that are based off of how Eve goes about determining how many ships are in a faction. For example, there are 6 frigates, there's, you know, 2 combat frigates and an interceptor and a bomber for each faction. And then there's destroyers, and then there's like 3 cruisers, then there's 3 battleships, and then there's 2 carriers. So that's the thing I'm going to do with my ships, is I'm going to create, when I start making my own ships, lineups based on, you know, that ideology, I guess, of how they went about and created the ships for those factions, with those numbers of specific ship types, right? And, you know, they're all going to be similarly themed, and I have some ideas as how they're going to look. I'm thinking lots of rings, you know, there's going to be some sort of like accelerator rings and stuff in them, you know, and that's what I'm going to go for. I have all sorts of ideas that are popping into my head now that I've started to think about this, and I'm actually really excited. So, those types of ships, I know a while ago, people wanted speed builds. And I haven't been doing that because I've been doing the builds on live stream, and I don't want to record while I live stream. That's just, I don't know. I mean, to me, that's a pain in the ass to deal with that. I record videos, you know, when I know what I'm going to be talking about, as opposed to a live stream, which is a little bit more random. So I'm thinking the ships that I'll be making of my own design will be the ships that I speed build, and you guys will be able to see that and stuff. And I might do that alongside a live stream and then speed up the footage, but I'm not sure yet. I have no idea. I have to start getting some ideas together. I'm going to toy around with them on a small scale and then move up to a larger scale. I'm probably going to make some miniature models of the ships just so I can get an idea of the shapes, and then we'll go from there. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about this, and it's going to be really fun. So thanks for watching. Subscribe for more if you haven't already. I post all sorts of this StarMade stuff all the time. Leave some feedback down below as usual, and I will see you guys next time.